Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about how WWE actually missed in this opportunity where they could have, but they didn't choose to do this. So first of all, let me start out by saying since the Royal Rumble pay-per-view has been a thing since it first ever started back then in 1988, all the way back then up to now, we've had so many superstars that have competed in the Royal Rumble match and made a name for themselves in that match, even though they ended up being eliminated after spending a long period of time in that Royal Rumble match. For example, I'm just gonna name you a few of them, just so you can get the gist of what I'm about to talk about here as I go along with this video. We had the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, in 1990, lasting over 44 minutes in the Royal Rumble. And then again, 1991, the model Rick Martel, at that point in time, set the record, 52 minutes, 17 seconds. Even though he didn't win, he stayed in there a long time, and he made a name for himself. Then later on, you had Greg the Hammer Valentine in that same Royal Rumble in 1991 as well, lasting over 44 minutes as well. Then as we go down to later years, you have people like Bob Backlund in 1993 setting the record for the person who's been in the longest and not winning at 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's another example. Fast forward to 1998, we have The Rock lasting for 51 minutes and 32 seconds, only to eliminated by Stone Cold Steve Austin, who would end up winning the whole thing. And later on in 2014, we had Seth Rollins go 48 minutes, 37 seconds. And then as the years went on, we saw the same thing over and over again. Superstars in there, up their game, and never ended up winning. Okay, so it brings me to my point of this video that I'm about to get started on here. So this 2024 Royal Rumble, we saw, honestly, the Women's Rumble was much better than the Men's Rumble. So I'm not even gonna start there. We saw some wasted spots in there. I mean, the thing with R-Truth was fine and all, but like, come on, really? That was totally unnecessary. Even to make it even more worse, you had him appear in the Women's Rumble. If you have him appear in the Women's Rumble, why would he have to appear in the Men's Rumble? You see, so my whole thing was, none of that made sense to me. Now, you could have still had the element of comedy in there, maybe where he done a run-in the Rumble and tries to help the Judgment Day, but he doesn't succeed. Instead of drawing an actual number and then coming out there. And then another thing that was also very stupid and was a waste of time for the Men's Rumble was the whole Pat McAfee thing. Where Pat McAfee, his music played, he went in the ring, looked at Omos, and ran right back out. Total stupidity and nonsense. So, remember last year, Gunther, last year's Rumble, Gunther was in there 1 hour, 11 minutes and change before being eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Gunther, I think he set the record at that time by accomplishing that feat for being in there such a long time, as far as the men's Rumble is concerned. So, the reason I'm disappointed is because two superstars in particular that should have been in this Royal Rumble match that were not in it and should have been given the opportunity to shine and showcase their unlimited amount of skills that we know both of them possess. I'm talking about these two superstars in particular. One of them is Chad Gable, and the other one is Montez Ford. Now, we've seen Chad Gable. We've seen Chad Gable have some great matches over the span of the last 6 months. The match against Gunther on Raw for the Intercontinental title, that was a classic in itself. And then even the mid-card action with Chad Gable and Otis against whatever team they're facing, the Viking Raiders or whomever, you would always see Chad Gable get in there and show why he is one of the most best purest wrestlers in the WWE. So it is beyond me that he wasn't in the Rumble to begin with. This missed out an opportunity where you could have had Chad Gable stay in there for quite some time, whether it be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever. You let him go in there and you let him set the Iron Man record. And this way, he shows that he is potential main event level superstardom, which we all know he is. The guy can wrestle. The guy is a mechanic. As far as being a wrestler is concerned, he can do it all. Sorry, as far as being a wrestler is concerned, we know he can do it all. Now, the other person, Montez Ford. Not seeing him in the Rumble very disappointed me a lot because we all know what Montez is capable of. If you go back and you watch some of his work in NXT a few years ago, we know what he can do and we know what he's capable of. Athleticism beyond athleticism. The guy can fly, he can sell, he can bounce, he can do it all. Remember back at the Elimination Chamber last year, that crazy spot that he did climbing on the top of the chamber and just ricocheting his entire body into a 360 and landing on all the other talent in there. That in itself was a moment. And then, if you remember correctly, back to SmackDown, probably about maybe 2 years ago, I think it might have been, or it might have been a year ago, we saw Montez versus Roman on a match of SmackDown. It was a non-title match, but Montez did actually shine in that match. And what you could have done, you could have put him in the Royal Rumble, give him time to go in there, compete, shine, show everyone what he's made of and why he belongs in the main event scene as well. But WWE, they chose not to do that. They decided to go with the R-Truth thing. I mean, I love R-Truth. Don't get me wrong. He is an entertaining guy. But they went along with that, and they went along with the Pat McAfee bullshit, where he went in there and jumped back in and jumped right back out. Come on, man. You got Montez Ford and Chad Gable, two of the most deserving talents on the roster, and you just snatched an opportunity away from them. They could have been given this opportunity and they could have showed the world what they are made of as far as being in that Rumble for 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, even closer and closer towards the end. This way, you continue to build them up to main event level. That's how the Rumble has been utilized over the last many, many years since it's been going on, to elevate superstars to another level. And like the names I just mentioned on this list, Ted DiBiase, The Rock, Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, all of them have been there and all of them have been elevated as a result of the Rumble. They could have done the same for Chad and they could have done the same for Montez, but they chose not to. Anyway, I just hope Montez Ford and Chad Gable in the future, they can end up getting those individual pushes, which they definitely need in order to succeed as future WWE champions. And I know they can they're definitely capable of becoming world champions, respective world champions one day.